Good morning. We just tried to make a video for you, and we seem to have a problem with trying to process it. So we're going to try this again. First of all, we're going to talk to you about the scaffolding. We tried to tell you that there was a diplomat that tried to kill me when I was a little girl, right here in the city. You see the one photograph? That's the place where it happened. That's where I used to sit when I was a little girl, okay? You see me in the yellow jacket. Anyway, that's where I sat when I was a little girl all the time. And I sit there sometimes now, too. And they brought up the scaffolding so I could see and remember. But it was a diplomat. She was about going to be 60 her next birthday, and she tried to push the scaffolding off onto me, but she missed, and she tried to push the heavier scaffolding onto me. There seemed to be doing some work in there, and she wasn't able to. They took her away. But before she did that, she spouted off the fact that, she was teaching me that I should believe in that thing they believe in. And she was also saying that she thought that that singing woman and impostress should be in our places. She was working for American Embassy, and she was supposed to retire her coming birthday, and they took her away for trying to murder me. And inside the place where you see I sit sometimes, you see the photograph. That's where it happened. We had a picture of the scaffolding, but I wasn't able to put it up. So if I get a chance, and we're able to, we'll let you see what it looked like, and to show you that it could hurt a small child, a little girl, even a grown up. Depending on how you push that, and the heavier one especially. And so now we're going to talk about uh, um, the fallen. Okay, we're going to talk about in Genesis chapter 6. Those bad women and their bad men tried to take that part out, same as it was in it will be later too. They're trying to hide for some reason, and tried to make that thing that they tried to say is our our God. Our God's the thunderings that no one should ever believe that that thing was our God. No one should ever believed in that thing. It's to be understood. It's not our God. That thing tried to put itself in a place of our God, as it was understood. We tried to explain to you. And so, same as it was in it will be later too, Genesis chapter 6 talks about the fallen, you know, that came and made it with female men, female mankind, and made offspring. The flood came, and most everything was, all the humans were destroyed except for Noah and his wife and his sons and their wives, and some animals. Those animals were destroyed, and the fallen weren't. But all the offspring maybe that could be destroyed of the fallen probably were. It's just to be understood. But same as it was in it would be later too, but first to the fact that it would happen again. And so throughout periods of history, it's understood that these fallen things would try again. Nobody should ever believed in that thing. That God, says that these people believe in. Nobody should ever believe that, you know, about that thing or in that thing. It's a bad shepherd. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about the part in Daniel where it says that, it's like the same as it was, it would be to be understood, that they would mix with humankind, that means the male and the female of them, and make offspring, but it would not stand. It's to be understood. It's the paragraph before it speaks of our paragraph that lasts forever and ever, never to be destroyed, never to be transferred to other people. Okay? But it speaks of them, the paragraph before, how they're destroyed and it doesn't hold. Okay? Like mixing iron and clay. You can't glue iron to clay, and then what if you drop the piece of iron that's a clay glued to it? Well, the clay breaks off, and then if it's supposed to be a whole thing, it's not whole anymore. So God lets us know in that paragraph that they're destroyed. They tried to do really bad things. They tried to do something very, very bad. And so God, we know that you make things kosher by water. So God cleansed the earth. God gave the rainbow, and other people tried to distort it. The rainbow is because God is letting us know that He would never destroy mankind by a flood like that anymore. Everybody, except for some animals and Noah and his wife and Noah's sons and their wives. The bad people think that, that bad thing that God said nobody should ever believe, you know, uh, uh, talks about something else. But we're going to talk about Magog here. Fire is another way to cleanse and make things kosher. Sodom and Gomorrah, there was fire and brimstone. There's another city too along Sodom and Gomorrah that was destroyed. 3 cities. And so to make things kosher is by fire as well. To make things kosher. So may God, God sends a fire and brimstone like Sodom and Gomorrah God, for the bad that Magog does. The resurrection has to come from, it speaks of, and those sleep in the dust shall, live again. It's basically, and those that are good, everlasting life, live forever. And those that are bad, just for a second, it's to be understood, and then they're destroyed forever. Resurrection to everlasting abhorrence. Abhorrence is death. Everlasting death for the bad people. God tells them that, we're bad, most likely probably, so to speak, and then they go. And so when we talk about the birds, they like making videos. They want to hear their video this morning too. And so there has to be earth, okay, or the world. And our God says our kingdom lasts forever and ever, never to be transferred to other people's. I get excited because I'm very happy about it. That means that there couldn't be what those bad people think. And so about, it's just God said nobody should ever believe that thing or believed in that thing. That thing tried to put itself in the place of our God. It's the bad shepherd. Now we're going to talk about also and other, the fallen. It's a fallen thing. And it's also, oh, son of dawn. That's a fallen thing. It's trying to exalt itself of the place of our God. Does that sound like that? And God says, He'll destroy all the, I'm going to put little g here, because that's what it is in the Tanakh and Torah, all the little gods that didn't make heaven and earth. That thing could never say that. I remember I told you that. And so, the fallen things, the Greeks kept a really good record of those fallen things, how they would havoc and everything. There would be the little g's as well. And Apollo. There was a contest that Apollo wanted to have judged by a so-called human, but no human's going to be judging between any who's the most beautiful between some fallen things. It says Apollo transformed himself into Paris. Paris was bad because he caused a war. He's a bad shepherd. Around the same time period. So it's as if Apollo transformed himself into Paris, and thus you have it. What did our God say? All little gods that didn't make heaven and earth shall be destroyed. And those bad women got caught, and the bad men with them got caught trying to take out the cross, same as it was then, as it would be later too in Genesis chapter 6. It's important. They said things like, oh, nobody's ever to do that. That's Torah. We're saying that. Nobody's ever to do that. Our people say that. That's Torah. But they were saying things like, you don't need that sentence. We looked. Well, how can they say you don't need something? Oh, you don't need they try to say that that wasn't needed, but it is needed. Well, they couldn't touch our books, okay? We found books on the internet where the clause was missing. But then they got caught in the middle of it trying to put it back. It is important to have because same as it was in the will be later too, goes back to up to Daniel, the future time. The world to come. Which mentions our kingdom lasts forever, never to be destroyed, never to be transferred to other people. Our kingdom that lasts forever and ever. And the everlasting life and the resurrection. So same as was in the Will later 2 in Genesis chapter 6, refers to in Daniel where it says they come and they mix with mankind, male and female of the fallen. Try to do it again, basically sort of be understood, but they're destroyed as well. And so, now we'll talk to you another time and another video, and have a wonderful day, and we'll video you later.